You can go to the Grand Ole Opry, take a stroll down Music Road.
All right, welcome to another Songwriter Tips from TSAI. So today we've touched on a couple of things, but I'm going to delve a little deeper into one subject, and that is titling your songs and looking to see if that title has already been used. Again, we have no excuse not to Google anything. Everything that has been done, you should be able to Google or YouTube or find out if it's out there. Nobody expects you to know about an album cut from something obscure or whatever, but anything that was any kind of reasonable hit. As a songwriter, if you want to take your career, professional reputation seriously, then you need to know these things. And you also have to realize that anytime you're pitching songs to someone, like we had a pretty reputable song plugger here, publisher here the other day, you're asking them to risk their reputation as well, because they're going to take your song and maybe they don't realize that it's a hit. Maybe everybody doesn't realize everything right off the bat. If they go marching into somebody's office with that, they're going to be embarrassed, and then you're going to hurt their career, and then of course they're not going to talk to you again. So you want to, for your own benefit, do the research. First of all, for your own reputation. Secondly, before you spend any money on something that you could tweak even a little bit. Titles have nouns and adjectives most of the time, right? So I'm a firm believer in trying to have your title have a noun in it that we can see. Emotional words are fine, and a lot of titles obviously have that. But if you can title your song with a noun of some kind in there, a noun would be a boat. An emotion would be like or love or miss. But if you have a title that's "I miss you," at least I and you are things that we can recognize. But it's the English language. You're going to have to know what the difference is between nouns and adjectives. If nothing else, change the adjective. So if you want to write, I use this all the time, but if you want to write a song called "Little Blue Boat," and "Little Blue Boat" was already a big hit, then just make it "Little Red Boat." Do something different to make your title different so that it is a completely different title. Adjectives are very easy to deal with, and just, I would strongly advise that. But having said all of that, if it comes down to you want that title, do your homework, look it up, see what that other song was, and then be as far away from that other song as possible. You're going to need to listen to that other song if you weren't familiar with it. You're going to need to do as many things differently as possible, first off. Maybe once the original was a male perspective, you want to make yours a female perspective. If the other one was in 3/4 time, make yours in 4/4 time. If one was a ballad, make it up-tempo or mid-tempo. Do as many things as you can differently from the other song. And then, this may sound obvious, but you can't use their lyrics, and you can't use their melody. And if you're not aware of that other song, you might. Especially a fairly long title that has 3 or 4 or 5 words in it is going to kind of have a natural groove to it, and you may fall into that same groove because it's just the natural way to say that. And once you have that groove, you may fall into that same melody because it's just the natural way of saying that. And so if you don't look that up, you're not going to know that you're all over somebody else's song. Don't risk your own reputation, and certainly don't risk any professional reputation after you, because somebody somewhere along the line is going to know that, and you will have gotten all excited and then gotten to know and go, I don't understand. So look it up. You owe it to yourself. We use examples all the time of hit songs that are the second time that title's been done. We use "Best of My Love" all the time. "Best of My Love," 2 completely different versions of that, and they came out maybe 2 years apart, but they're completely different songs. And the other one, "Still the One." "Still the One" was a big Orleans hit, and then Shania Twain writes it. One of the ones that I just heard the other day that I had forgotten completely about is "Don't Stop Believin'." How many "Don't Stop Believins" do you think are out there? Olivia Newton-John had a big hit on that, but there's other ones. So look at the song. It's not that you can't use that title, but if you're gonna use that title, realize that it's already a hit, and deal with it, and make your song completely different so that nobody immediately thinks of the other song. Now, Also, we're songwriters. If you're pitching songs in Nashville, what happens in a pitch night? Here's the next song. It's Best of My Love. And everybody starts singing Best of My Love. You're going, what are you doing? If you want to be a songwriter in country music, you really need to be aware of at least the biggest iconic hits of all time. But even just not being aware of something like that, I mean, you have to be. You know, if you want to take this as a career seriously and have people respect you, and that goes for the musicians and the producers and everybody along the way, you need to be aware of these things, and you owe it to yourself to do that. And then, like I said, you just have to look it up. You know, look it up and stay off of those other songs. And I mean, I just can't tell you how important that is. So anyway, there's some more homework for you. Thanks.
You will hear some faded cowboys used to ride the old radio, and you will see some shooting starlets wonder why they shine so bright. I tell you, son, it ain't no secret. Songwriters helping writers down at TSAI.